Hey everyone, it's Helen Thompson with Remax Properties Southwest in Orlando. And today I'm here with Paul Magrone with Home Inspections by PJM Inc. He's one of my outstanding home inspectors. Welcome, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I just want to talk to you about, first of all, it's amazing that you have, a book that's coming out for your industry, which speaks volumes about the level of knowledge and expertise and service that you bring, with the home inspection industry. It's called The Business of Home Inspection and subtitle The Delivery, the Essential Communication for Inspectors. So maybe you could share with us, a few insights, how this came to be of you wanting to do this, and then also maybe suggestions or advisement, when we're dealing with the home inspection part of our transactions.
Well, thanks for having me and asking such good questions. I appreciate that. What motivated me to do the book really was working with people like yourself. There's a lot of real estate agents that take their business very seriously, and they're highly professional and skilled people. And they usually will try to pair up with people that they feel that they can trust and they have confidence in. Well, the busier real estate gets, the bigger the amount of people, the more people are in the business. You have a watered down version in some areas of real estate where there's some people that are new, they're not as skilled, they don't have the nuances. And the same thing's true with home inspectors. So I saw a need because since 2004, I've learned so much about the way to communicate results and to explain things to people in ways that they can understand. And then that became very valuable as I learned to the real estate people that I worked with. The network of people that we have networked with are just like yourself. I mean, I'd like to consider you in the top 10 of everyone we know, but you're a high caliber person, but it's because of that high caliber person that we wanted to elevate our game to meet your expectations. And as you get in any industry, as you continue to learn and grow, you want to try and influence others. So I've noticed a lot of newer home inspectors are not learning that communication part of it. I'll give you an example. Like when we work with a first time home buyer, right? You work with a first time home buyer, you're not going to let that buyer get in a home that leaves them with $500, $1,000 in their bank account, knowing that they may end up with a serious problem in a year or two and it could hurt them financially. Well, our communication is geared towards things like that. If we have a first time home buyer and we do a property together, I trust your judgment in the fact that you'll let me communicate honestly with both you and the buyer about what they need to be focused on and how to make this work, and if in fact it can work. And that's much different than an investor who's who's got 20 properties over the last 15 years. You know what I
Sure.
mean? That person's going to know a lot more. So communication is real important, and who you're speaking to and knowing how to word things when you're speaking with each different individual, I think, is a priority. And when you're doing real estate like you are, you tend to have a real passion for what you do. So you care about everybody. So I know that in your heart of hearts, you would never let anyone get into something bad. And you rely on what I find, and you want that communicated the right way. So this is why I take passion in what I do. But when I wrote this book, it was geared towards helping others in the industry learn that part. Because when you get certified as a real estate agent or you get certified as a home inspector, they don't really teach you the real world part of this business.
Right. Yes, we actually, you learn how to pass the exam, and then, then the real life situation happens. So, anyhow, well, kudos to you. Congratulations for, just really being that leader in your industry. So, we really thank you for that. So, one of my questions too, when I go on a listing appointment and, I see the home has had deferred maintenance, and I know that there are going to be things that are going to come up. And, in this rapidly moving market that we have, Often these home inspection reports can really end the deal, you know. And so let me ask you, when we make that suggestion to homeowners, maybe doing a pre-inspection may be valuable for you, especially if we see that the roof, the HVAC has age. There's just some visual things that we can see. What do you recommend? Do you recommend, first of all, homeowners with deferred maintenance? Should we really press them or advise them on this pre-inspection?
I think pre-listing inspection is a good idea. And it's a good idea because it can bring to your attention and their attention things that may come up that you're not expecting, that are big ticket items, things you might know about. Like I did a house from 2011 earlier today with a roof leak that nobody saw coming. And that's only something you would discover during the scope of an inspection as you go through up the top of the roof and inside the attic into those places where nobody really goes. So from that standpoint, it would be valuable in stopping you from getting hit with something you didn't see coming. But as far as deferred maintenance, I mean, I think that if it doesn't affect the curb appeal and it doesn't affect the overall attractiveness of the home as they walk through the inside and the outside, I really don't put a high priority on that. And especially in today's market, knowing how hard your market is right now, how limited inventory is right now, and nobody wants to lose the right house for the right person because that person is getting hung up on small items. So one of the things that's really important, I think, not only a pre-listing inspection to find the big ticket items that could hurt you, but maybe if you have a group in your office, like your team has some newer people, you do a really good job at this. But there's a lot, like just like in my business, there's a lot of real estate agents that don't do a good job of managing the customer's expectations. So if you're going to bring a buyer in, it's a really good idea, I think, that the buyer's expectations are set properly. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying let's not tell or let's not share information. I'm saying let's put priorities where priorities should be. Last thing in the world, one of the things that used to drive me crazy, I used to teach first-time home buyers classes, and I taught it time and time again. Most people listen, but every once in a while I would inspect for the same people 3, 4, 5 houses. And I'm like, don't you listen in class? Because they would walk away from properties that were not bad. They just got overwhelmed with small items. And inevitably, they end up spending about $300 in inspection. 3 houses later, the next 2 houses are 10 times worse than the first one they walked away from. So it's so important to manage their expectations so that they have the ability to process the information correctly. So I would say pre-listing inspections are great. And making sure that the buyer's expectations are managed properly.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I think that's great advisement. And thank you for sharing like the examples of that, because you're right. There can be sometimes where like the small non-structural items become way more exaggerated than they need to be. So again, that's why I really just have so much confidence and trust in your group, because all of your inspectors are so fair and are so good with the communication that, it just makes that whole experience for the buyer, they leave there feeling like they're knowledgeable about what they're buying, and that they just feel confident, I would say, with their home purchase. So anyhow, I just want to share you with everybody because I just feel like you guys are just like top of your game. And anyhow, if you want to share your contact info, obviously, we'll put this into our conversation here, but what is the best way people can contact you for either a pre-inspection, or if they are just curious of how their home is aging, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Well, the best way to call us is our office phone contact, Usually they'll get Karen, Ellen, or Debbie there. And that number is 321-228-3848. It's also advantageous, I think, to go to our website. It's pjm-inc.com. What's cool about the website is as we continue to get more experience and get more time in the industry, the website has grown with us. So now we have, of the 6 guys that we have on our team, you can actually see who your inspector is as a picture of them. They have their biographies on there, and they all have a sample report. So like if you're shopping for an inspector and you want to find out who it is you just booked with, you can learn about Jason's biography and see a sample of his work. You can learn about Jim or Mike or Bill, all of us. And then you could basically pick who you want to use.
That sounds amazing. So congratulations on that. And, and just bringing that quality of just integrity and knowledge, experience, all of that to your industry, just bringing it to a higher standard. So thank you for that. You're amazing. And anyhow, thanks so much for your time today, and all the best with all your endeavors.